Today you've got the BJP saying we are giving Rakhi gifts. The Congress saying, look what we are doing with Gruha Lakshmi. We are giving 2,000 rupees to the woman head of a family in Karnataka. Is the reality, though, that women are still very poorly represented? I'm putting out some of the numbers of how many women actually are there in our parliament and in our assemblies. In Karnataka, it's less than 10%. In the Lok Sabha, it's 15%. Is that the real issue? We need more women in public life rather than simply giving 1,500 and 2,000 rupees.
Rajdeep, I don't think these can be analyzed, in a sort of by clumping them all together and sort of rendering a generic verdict on them. I think different schemes address different things. If you look at the trajectory of the political role of women in India, it started with at independence and the first elections. It started with the assumption that you enroll a family, you're enrolling the woman. They really didn't go out and enroll women. Women didn't necessarily. There's a large and there's enough documentation to show that, there's huge numbers of women missing from the first electoral rolls. They only approached the family. After that, both the Election Commission and political parties in particular did a lot of work to enlist women, looking at women as voters, right? Okay. Then it went to looking at women as a vote bank, which is when you start looking at schemes. What is the difference? You're not just looking at women as a part of a family. If you enroll the husband, you enroll the woman, or you enroll the father, you enroll the woman. 2, treating women as individual voters and enrolling them. 2, saying, look, women as a collective have differential roles in society, have differential needs, and have differential aspirations too, while there are also common aspirations, and we will cater to them. Now, within that are these schemes. And some of these schemes are genuinely empowering. For example, for a long time, in fact, let's go to N.T. Ramarao in Andhra Pradesh in 1987-88, when he brought in the inheritance scheme for Hindu women. And, the National Parliament only passed it well after 2010, I believe. So, that is
do you support 2,000? Do you support 2,000 rupees being given to the woman head of a family?
That's what I'm saying. So there are poverty alleviation schemes like 2,000 rupees being given to women head of families, that provided that they are at a certain poverty level. This is not that I'm eligible for it and I shouldn't be, right? At the same time, you may give a scheme for the marriage of a woman, right? So in one case, it's a poverty alleviation scheme. In the second case, the example of NTR that I gave, or the example of
what about Mr. Modi's schemes? No, what about Mr. Modi's schemes? Whether they are Ujjwala, whether they are Swachh Bharat, they are also impacting women.
I'm coming there. So if you look at the Dravidian schemes, and if you look at the connection to education and saying 10th pass, 12th pass, college enrollment, then it's genuinely empowering, because the woman sort of gets emancipated. It is not just poverty alleviation, it's emancipation. You're moving higher up in the Maslow's pyramid. The 2,000 rupees alleviates poverty. It allows her on nutritional levels to go up. It allows her to escape domestic violence. So that's at a certain level of, social relevance. And then the next level of relevance is education and employment-related loans for women entrepreneurs and so forth. And then if you look at things like Ujjwala or Swachh Bharat, they're absolutely necessary, but they're at a very, very basic level, right? There is no question of empowerment there. It's a basic need that you're fulfilling. You certainly cannot call it empowerment, but there is a need.
So you're saying there's a basket of schemes, and we could include even some of the schemes that Mamata Banerjee has given. Schemes like Kanya Shri to girl child. If they pass a certain level, the family gets a certain amount of money. The truth on the other end, Professor Sanjay Kumar, is I'm going to put out numbers that show women are voting more and more in elections, and women are making clear choices. I went through a list of all elections in recent time. No party which has got more women votes has lost. Mamata Banerjee defeated the BJP in 2021 because she got more women votes. Narendra Modi has defeated his rivals in general elections. Women have voted in even larger numbers than men for him. Is there now a clear woman vote bank out there which can be wooed, whether you give bicycles to girls, 2,000 rupees, or create special schemes for them?
Rajdeep, I think, yes, women is emerging as a vote bank. Women as a group is emerging as a vote bank. And political parties have realized, because if you look at the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, you have put out some data on the screen, but just to reiterate the data, that if we look at all the states and all the union territories, out of the 36 states and union territories, there are 24 states and union territories where women voters have outnumbered men. There are a large number of states where women have outnumbered men in terms of voting by a very large margin. 5 or 6% is a huge margin. To name some of the states, say Himachal, Arunachal, Bihar, these are some of the states where women have outnumbered men in a very large number. So the whole point is that why these political parties are doling out, we may call it freebies, we may call it welfare schemes aimed at women, because they have realized, you have already mentioned that, you have looked at the data and you have realized that in all the states which went to poll during last few years, whichever party women have sided with, they have hardly lost an election. This is an evidence. And these are the evidence which is coming out from the research which we are also doing.
But what attracts them? What attracts the woman voter?
Party which they...
What attracts them? Is it schemes? Is it welfare schemes for them? Is it cash handouts? What attracts them?
No.
Rajdeep, there's analysis.
1 minute, please.
A mix of all these.
Go ahead.
A mix of all these. Welfare schemes is one aspect. Freebies is one aspect. Giving direct cash is one aspect. But also, Rajdeep, I would like to cite one evidence from the research which we have done. If we look at the proportion of women who were taking their independent voting decision, and that is related to why we see women turning out to vote in such a large number. If I look at the 2004 or 2009 Lok Sabha election, roughly 25-27% women mentioned in the survey that they have voted on their own. They did not take advice from any other family member or friends. But if I look at the data for 2019, it has touched almost 50%, 47-48% women in the survey mentioned that they are taking their own voting decision. They are not being guided by other members. I think that's the catalyst. That has encouraged women to turn out to vote in much bigger number, and that is also one factor that they are taking carefully informed choices, decision, which party they want to vote for. And I think social media has a big role to play in that.
Okay, let me bring in Gaurav Bhatia again, because he was getting...
Rajdeep, if I could just say one thing about...
Yeah, very quickly, Tara, yes.
Yeah, so in our work with the women's vote, women vote based on delivered promises, not just based on the manifesto. If you deliver law and order in a Bihar, if you deliver to the schemes, whether it is Ujjwala, whether it is the 2,000 rupees per month, whether it is the schemes that Dravidian parties may deliver, whether it is the schemes in Rajasthan or in Bihar that Nitish Kumar delivers, when there is a track record of delivery, post-delivery, after the
So it's a reward. It's a reward for you having delivered. If you deliver,
that's right,
you will be rewarded by the woman.
India's #1 political reporter
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV.